What's up, everybody? So today I'll be talking about the pros and cons of buying a Samsung phone. So let's start off with the pros because they're some of the better ones to know first. So if you buy a Samsung phone, you get a good and crispy Quad HD Super AMOLED display. This is one of the first companies to actually combine AMOLED and Quad HD, which are the best in the market in terms of resolution and panel right now. So if you combine and fuse both of them together, they're gonna look incredible. That's exactly what Samsung did. Text is super sharp, and as usual, if you put a black wallpaper, you'll get battery savings. You'll get those deep inky blacks, which are gonna look awesome. And Samsung doing a bit of work with the colors as well, because colors are much more saturated in this phone compared to any other phone. Let me just show you. If you see, the colors are very saturated. Maybe you won't be able to see in this camera because I'm shooting with my iPad right now, but they're actually pretty saturated to the naked eye. They look actually awesome. So that's one thing. And the other thing is that you're gonna get some snappy performance. Yes, I know there's TouchWiz lag, which is also a con of this phone, but other than that, Samsung has done a good job to actually tone down the TouchWiz customization and sort of bring it down to a more stockish feel of Android. It's still far from my liking, but with these solid specs of Exynos 7420 and a Mali GPU, it's doing awesome actually, to be honest. It's a pretty good snappy phone, although the TouchWiz lag is still there. Besides that lag, it's a pretty good phone. And if you buy a Samsung phone, specifically a Note, then you're gonna get the S Pen features. S Pen is embedded in there. Once I remove it, actually my S Pen is faulty, but if you remove the S Pen, you get things like immediate note. In the sense, what you could do is basically when you remove the S Pen, the next second you do it, you get sort of like a quick notepad on the screen which you can write down, and once you put the pen back in it, the note will get saved. So that's nice. You can use it like an immediate notepad. And this is closer to the Note series, but it's still part of Samsung, so you could buy that. And then the last and final reason will be awesome cameras. Like, Samsung has been killing it with cameras lately. They have an awesome wide-angle front-facing camera, and even better, super sharp and detailed rear-facing camera. Yes, I know you guys will be saying, oh, they dropped megapixels from 16 to 12, but this thing has 16. I believe it does have a little more detail than, say, like the Galaxy S7. But according to me, that's not really a big deal because 12 megapixels is still a lot. And since they've increased the size of the actual pixels to 1.55 microns, you can actually let more light in. So that basically means you'll have better low light performance. So I'm actually glad Samsung did that. Don't judge me for that. Alright. Cons of the phone, especially when Samsung has gone with this super glossy glass back. I actually have a case right now. So underneath this case, there's actually a glass back. That's sort of like the staple for every Samsung phone. It all started off from the S6, and then it came to the S6 Edge, S6 Edge Plus, S6 Active, Note 5, S7, S7 Edge. Yep. And that basically makes it the most smudgiest, fingerprintiest, slippery phone. Yeah, that's a big description, but I know it's really, really slippery. Trust me, it slipped out of my pocket, like literally. With this case, it doesn't offer you much grip, but then I bought it for the bumper, especially because the bumper is rubberized and it's pretty nice. But this is one big con of this phone. Like, I swear, it is one of the most worst things about this phone. And the other thing I'll be talking about is speaker. See that speaker right there? That is one of the most worst speakers I have ever seen. First thing is its placement. It's placed at one of the worst places you could ever imagine. And the other thing is that it's easy to block, even though it's like a pretty mediocre speaker. You put it at the side, people are gonna hold their phones kind of like this, and the speaker will get blocked. That's a problem there. So that's also one con of it. And the last con is TouchWiz itself. Samsung's skin on top of Android. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people like super bright, super punchy colors and everything. I am not a big fan of them personally. So yeah. And why I'm saying TouchWiz is actually bad, because I say that the customizations have been toned down, but still, despite the customizations being toned down and TouchWiz becoming more mature, it's still far from anybody's liking. I'm like, what? Like, seriously, like, just look at that once. Look, if you look at this phone, wait, I'm gonna unlock it quickly. You see that it has lots of things which have been recessed. This app drawer has been recessed a lot. Shit, sorry for that. And a lot of apps have been recessed as well. Things have changed a lot. This round, super bright icons. And then not only that, if you go into the settings menu, you see a lot of changes and everything. It's just not a good time for TouchWiz. Like I said, it's much more better than the previous generations, but it's still far from my liking. I would prefer a more stockish look. I would love to put Nova Launcher on this, only if my mom allowed me to. So, Samsung phones are pretty good phones overall. They're amazing phones, but there are just a couple of things which stand out while buying this phone. So, according to MKBHD and many people, to be honest, phones these days are measured by how bad they are, despite from how good they are. Because the reason is that phones are getting so good that there's very less bad about it, and those little things stand out so much that it might as well change your buying decision. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it helped you make a better decision, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.